Welcome back to Berm Peak. I'm Seth, and today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different, but kind of the same. We've got the same bike as we did last time. We tested this Walmart bike because I thought it might be good, and it kind of was. In the last video, we tore it down, took a look at it, and we found to nobody's surprise that it wasn't assembled very well. But once we fixed all the issues with the bike, it was pretty solid, at least in my backyard. And so today, I'm not trying to make fun of this bike, I'm not trying to break it, I wanna take it on a realistic ride that you would expect the owner of this bike to do. I'm gonna go over to a little loop. It's a couple miles, you can do it in about 20 minutes, 260-foot climb, 260-foot descent. Definitely a realistic trail for this bike, but at the same time, should be able to push it just a bit. All right, so pretty soon we're gonna get into some real climbing here. Nothing too crazy, but probably what you would be expecting to do on this bike. I can already tell this is not gonna be very pleasant, but the bike doesn't feel bad. Not even close to bad. Let's take the techie line. Oh, I just dropped the chain. I was about to go up those rocks. Ooh, this might be a long day. So you can see, that's what I mean by dropping a chain. It came off the front chain ring, so that's not good. I was just climbing. I must reiterate, aside from the chain coming off, it doesn't feel bad. Tires have a great compound, the geometry is not terrible, and we haven't got into anything where the fork's gonna show its true colors. So, like I mentioned, you find out what a bike is made of at speed, and we're not climbing particularly fast. I do hear a little bit of creaking, but otherwise, ooh, what's that? That wasn't a good sound. Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. What do you guys think that might be? I don't know. That's a pretty bad noise, and all I've done is climb with it. I was gonna do some really sketchy stuff with it, but
I think you should anyway.
I guess it's safe to descend on, eh? Okay.
I'll come down with the stretcher behind you.
Let's get the seat low and descend with a little bit of caution. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, that was like a 2-foot drop. Hey Siri, send a message to Curtis. I'm headed down, the bike is So I just thought of something. Did I crash because my fingers came off the brake lever, and then during the crash the handlebars bent? Or did the handlebars bend when I landed, causing my hand to come off the brake lever? I'm gonna look at my GoPro footage. Nope, the handlebars did not bend on the drop. What happened was my finger slipped off the lever, I death gripped the bar, as you can see right there, and then you can see that tree right in front of me? I hit into that. It was like the weight of me on top of it that bent it. Ooh, that's not good. Look, did the handlebars bend too easily? I think so. I've crashed a lot, and like that usually doesn't happen, but It wasn't the Kent Trouvaille's fault. That was totally my fault. Fingers slipped off the lever and then death gripped into a tree. My supreme bailing skills got me to where I am right now, perfectly fine, but it didn't stop me from crashing. So let's get this back to the shop and check out a couple of the issues that we have with the bike. We're back here at the shop. Let's do a post-mortem on this here Kent Trouvaille. Okay, so I think I figured out what was going on when I was pedaling really hard uphill. It was making these terrible noises, and it was only when it got really steep and I was pushing down. It's the bearings in the bottom bracket. This whole thing is loose, not the cranks, not individual cranks, but the bearings in the bottom bracket. That's a little troubling because that just happened when I was climbing, and it's not like I'm a huge guy or anything like that, laying down tons of watts. So we're gonna get in here and look at this. And I'm asking myself right now, is this loose or is it blown the hell up? Bone dry. Would be nice if they used some grease or assembly compound. Oh, yeah, the bearing's blown up. The bearing blew up while climbing. That's not good. You see this? That's part of a ball bearing. Now the good news is that I might have a replacement for this bearing, and it's super cheap. Yeah, this feels super way nicer than that. I mean, for God's sakes, you guys said I can barely reach the doorknob of a house, and I just blew up a bottom bracket with my raw strength. I think it's fair to say that the Kent Trouvaille onto the handlebars. So, I gotta take the L on the handlebars. That was definitely on me, I crashed. I've grown accustomed to using hydraulic disc brakes, and you just give them a little squeeze and the bike stops. These, you gotta put your whole hands on them and just go, grrr. I was being a cowboy. I was just jumping into the situation, just death gripped the handlebars and went into the tree. And actually, I aimed for the tree. I know that sounds like I'm lying, but I wanted the front of the tire to hit the tree so that I could jump off the side. Hitting it at some weird angle, I think, is worse than hitting it dead on. That's just from my experience hitting trees. This is from one of my favorite companies, Upinbike. You know who rides for Upinbike? Nobody rides for Upinbike. I wanted to put something on the bike that was at least as good as what it came with, so. Okay, let's get her back together. Advanced bike research. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure they do as much research as Kent did on that bottom bracket. I just caught myself. I'm making fun of the bike, but it says not to take it off-road. The joke's on me. They literally say on the bike, do not take this off-road. It doesn't say don't go mountain biking. If it's dirt, you're not supposed to take this bike on it. And so, yeah, I mean, why do we do this? Okay, so it's fixed. We replaced the bottom bracket, we replaced the handlebars. That was my fault. But yeah, that was a pretty egregious failure. I would say you get an entry-level Trek, like a Trek Marlin, and ride that trail 100 times and not expect the bottom bracket to fail. So are you really saving money with this? Yeah, we put like a $15 bottom bracket back in it, and so you're still ahead. Yeah, I guess we're gonna take this back on the trail, but not today, because we're out of time. Besides the bottom bracket blowing up, it shifted smoothly, it didn't feel that bad climbing, and honestly, for what little descending I did, it felt okay. It felt like an entry-level bike. So I'm excited to give the Kent Trouvaille another try. Maybe we'll take it someplace tamer, or maybe we won't. I hope you learned something today, and if not, I hope you at least found this entertaining. If you didn't see the last video where we bought this bike and inspected it, I have a link to it below. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time. Oh, that was like a 2-foot drop. Okay. So, what happened there was, I reached for the brake and grabbed a whole bunch of nothing. And the handlebar bent way down. Okay. Oh, hey, Curtis. But things are not going so well.
Why so?
I mean, just take a quick look at the bike.
I'm not saying it.
You don't see the handle?
Oh my god. Oh my god.